The snow was falling endlessly over the narrow road that wound through the mountains of Elder Spring Ridge. For most people, that was a place of danger, isolation, and absolute silence. But for Samuel Reed, a wildlife photographer who lived almost completely cut off from the world, it was the only place where he still felt alive. That cold afternoon, as he slowly drove along the frozen road, something made Samuel slow down. The sound of the engine was low, almost a whisper, and that was the only reason he heard it. A faint sound, nearly imperceptible, a muffled cry, broken, desperate. At first, Samuel thought it was the wind cutting through the snow. But the sound came again, this time clearer, more painful. He stopped the car, stepped out, his boots sinking into the soft snow, feeling the freezing air sting his face. He followed the sound, and that's when he saw it. There, almost buried in the snow, was a lion cub, small, trembling, its fur covered in ice, its ears drooping, and those golden eyes shining with fear, but also with hope. Samuel froze. A lion, there, in the snow. Then the truth hit him like a punch. That region was part of an illegal trafficking route. The cub must have fallen from a smuggler's truck, abandoned, alone, waiting for a mother who would never return. Something inside Samuel broke. He knelt down slowly, reached out his hand and whispered, "It's okay. I'm here." The cub didn't run, didn't attack. It just stayed there, staring, as if everything depended on that moment. When Samuel picked him up, the animal let out a weak roar that turned into a whimper. He was too light, too fragile. As if he carried the weight of loneliness on his tiny back, Samuel ran to the car, turned on the heater, and held the cub against his chest, trying to transfer his own warmth. As he drove toward a veterinary outpost, the cub began to breathe better, but he never fully relaxed. It was as if he still didn't believe he was safe. At the clinic, the vet shook her head in disbelief. "It's a miracle he's alive, exhausted, starving, but no serious injuries." Samuel took him home, a small cabin near the forest. There, he warmed milk and poured it into a bowl. The cub sniffed it, hesitated, then began to drink so hungrily that milk splashed on his whiskers and nose. Samuel laughed. For the first time in years, he felt a different kind of warmth inside his chest. That night, he made a makeshift bed near the fireplace with a wool blanket, and the cub slept, small, alive, safe. He gave him a name, Arlo. Days passed, and Arlo transformed. He followed Samuel through the snow, tripping over his own paws, slept leaning against his leg, watched every camera click as if he understood the work. When Samuel returned home, Arlo greeted him with a low, purring sound, not a roar. It was recognition, it was affection. But as time passed, reality drew closer. Arlo was growing, fast. And Samuel knew he wasn't a cat, he wasn't a pet, he was a lion, born for the wild, not for a cabin. One day, there was a knock at the door. Wildlife rangers, kind, but firm. "It's time," they said. "He belongs to nature." Samuel knelt. Arlo rested his head against his arm, and Samuel whispered, voice breaking, "Go. You're free now." Arlo hesitated, then brushed Samuel's face with his muzzle for the last time, and disappeared among the falling snow. Years passed. Samuel kept photographing, traveling, working, but inside him there was an emptiness, a silent space shaped like a small golden lion. Until one day, on a summer morning, he was photographing in the Saranora Reserve when something moved in the tall grass. Samuel adjusted the lens, expecting to see any wild animal, but what emerged left him paralyzed. A massive adult lion, majestic, its golden mane shimmering under the sun. The guards tensed, weapons ready, but the lion did not attack. He walked straight toward Samuel, slow, calm, as if he knew the way. Time stopped. The lion stopped a few steps away. Samuel didn't breathe. His camera trembled in his hands. Then the lion lowered his head and pressed his mane against Samuel's hand. Samuel whispered, "Arlo." The lion lifted his amber eyes and let out the same soft sound from years before. Not a roar. It was affection. It was recognition. It was an impossible reunion. In that moment and in the heart of the wild, a man and a lion stood side by side, two beings who had once found each other in the snow, and against all odds had found their way back again.